Well, hello there and welcome back to the next episode of this F1 2017 Sauber Career Mode. We're at the Brazilian circuit, the Autodrome Jose Carlos Pache circuit, if I haven't butchered that name, for round 19 of 20, so very close now to the end of the season. First things first, we'll listen to the voicemail for the qualifying objective and then we'll talk about how the practice sessions have been. 9th place. I think I might struggle to reach Q3. Practice sessions have been okay. The conditions have been dry throughout, as will qualify, but in the race it's going to start off dry and then progressively get wetter as it goes on. So I've sort of been mixing around with a sort of semi-dry, semi-wet setup, and in FP3 I ran a full wet setup in the dry conditions. We only managed 10th place, which sounds okay, but we were slower than Hulkenberg and Grosjean, who were on the soft tyres, and we were on the supers. So I think Q2 might be the maximum today, but that's fine because we're a lot stronger in the wet, and I've got a nice balanced setup as well now to hopefully help with those conditions. So the minor upgrade came in on the powertrain. As you can see now, we're now slowly working our way through it. Still got this one to do here, 450, and I've got 425 resource points already, although I'm in two minds to maybe not spend anything else now and just save everything for the end of season bonus, because we might end up with something like 4,500 or something crazy like that, and then we can go a bit spend happy like it's Christmas all over again. So but apart from that, not much else has changed. A few other teams may have improved as well. Ferrari and Red Bull have a little bit, and we're now right up behind Renault, so there's a bit of a tussle there between Renault, ourselves, Toro Rosso, Williams, Haas and McLaren, and then from Renault onwards there's a bit of a leap. But as the season's gone on, we started, if you look on the left there, as the worst team since pre-patch. We started off, I think, the season probably about 260, I think, on the performance graph, number 260, and we're nearly at 400. So if we look into that for next season as well, we should be in about 520, 530 next season, which is where Mercedes and Ferrari are as well. So into season 4, I'll be hoping to probably catch up with the likes of Force India and Red Bull. But for now, anyway, we're going to carry on with the car that we've got. We're going to go to Q1, and hopefully we can get through the first session. I think we should get through the first session, but I think Q2 is where we might end up ending our session, but we'll give it a go anyway, and hopefully we can get through the first session relatively unscathed. So we've managed to make it through relatively comfortably into Q2 with the 9th fastest time, just under a second away from Bottas, who was on the soft tyres. No other real surprises, or Ocon 7th, Grosjean's done well into 8th. So we'll have a quick look at the 5 drivers who have been eliminated. Oh, Raikkonen was close, look at that. Very close indeed to being out, but it's Magnussen in 16th, Alonso, Van Dorn, Stroll, and then Pascal Wehrlein at the back of the field. So we're moving to Q2 then. I think this is where we might struggle, because you can see they were sort of between, Grosjean and Hulkenberg, but we'll give it a go anyway on the super soft tyres and try to make it through into the Q3 top 10 shootout. So we've managed to make it into Q3 then by about 3/10 of a second in the end, so we weren't under too much pressure. Decent lap as well, only did the one flying lap in the middle part of the session when the track was relatively empty. And yeah, felt okay. I'm getting better at this circuit as it goes on. Brazil is, I do like the circuit, it's just that I can never really get a nice setup that hooks up well with the circuit, but I've been working on it in the practice sessions and it seems to be paying off. So we'll be starting inside the top 10, which is nice. Safely through as well, both the Mercedes, both the Ferraris, Force Indias and Red Bulls as usual, and we're joined by Kvyat's Toro Rosso in the top 10 shootout. So now we can go for it. We're locked into starting on the super soft tyres, which will be interesting with the intermittent weather during the race, and now we've got another set that we can go for it in qualifying and maybe move up the order a little bit, but I think we'll probably be locked into 9th place. So yeah, 9th place in the end. We only managed to finish ahead of Kvyat, which is sort of where I expected myself to be, over 1.6 seconds off the pace. So we don't really have the pace in the dry, just hoping and praying that when the rain does fall or start to fall in the race that we can start to move up the order. But overall, I'm not too disappointed. I didn't think I'd make it through to Q3, and we have. So all in all, it's been a very testing qualifying session. We've got the pace to be challenging for points, but I don't think we'll be doing any Mexico heroics unless we make a blinder of a start, and a few other people have problems in the race. But 9th place overall, not too despondent with that. We'll see what the race strategy is going to be like and when this rain will fall, because I think the beginning of the race is going to be very crucial to looking after our tyres, so we don't have to make another pit stop before the rain falls. So the resource points for qualifying, expected position was 12th, we've overachieved by 3, so a little down because usually we do quite better than that, but another 95 anyway takes us up to 540. The rivalry update 27 to 9 now, so we will be able to see this off before the end of the season, which is nice, and hopefully we get a new rivalry as well. Yeah, it continues to rise with all the teams that are not at 100%, so like I said, we're continuing to improve the reputation with the majority of the teams. It's really just the top 4 teams now that are not at 100%, everyone else is. And finally, we'll listen to the voicemail for the race objective. Already very cloudy outside, so the rain will be falling rather soon. Finishing 9th and beat Grosjean. I think it's achievable as long as we keep it clean in the first couple of laps. Not much else to look at then, so we'll go to the grid. We'll have a look to see if anyone's got any penalties, and then we'll have a nosy over the projected race strategy.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez, Ocon, and de Sauber, Fiat, and Nico Hülkenberg, Massa, Sainz, Jolyon Palmer, and Magnussen, Verstappen, Alonso, Romain Grosjean, and Stoffel Van Dorn. Stroll and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So we've been bumped up to 8th place. 2 drivers have penalties, Verstappen and Grosjean. So Verstappen, I think, qualified 5th. He's now in 15th. Race strategy then. Starting on the supers. Softs will ignore that because, as you can see there, the weather is all over the place. It's going to start off cloudy, then we're going to have some intermediate running, and then possibly full wet, and then maybe intermediate towards the end as well. So this is going to be a race that's going to be very interesting for strategy. We've got to get it all right. We'll bump the fuel up. I think we'll go for 3 extra laps worth of fuel. So yeah, this is going to be rather chaotic, I think. There's going to be probably several pit stops from everyone during the race. Looks like onto inters, then full wets, and then maybe inters towards the end, but it depends when it falls. If it's like 2-3 laps to go, I might just stay out on the full wets. Tyre wear won't be a problem because we'll probably be pitting every 8 or 9 laps by the looks of it. So hopefully the rain will fall, I don't know really, it's saying pit lap 10. I kind of want it to, well, it doesn't really matter really. It's going to be before lap 10 we'll be making the change. So we'll get the formation lap out of the way, and then we'll get the 19th round of Season 3 at Brazil on the go. So then, 8th place on the grid. Let's hope for a clean first corner. Lights are out and away we go. Lighting up them rear tyres. We've already got the inside line, which is kind of what I wanted. Don't know if we'll pick up a position or 2. We'll stay where we are for now. P8, that's fine. Quick check on when this rain is going to fall. Heavy rain in 15 minutes, but we're expecting light rain before it. Up the inside of Ocon. Now it's round the outside. Don't know if we can hold it or not. No. Nice move on Ocon. This is up to 7th place then. We've got Bottas and Ricciardo ahead of us, and we're going to get DRS off of these 2 as well. Bottas has already fallen behind Perez. Oh, we're going to make it 3 wide? I don't think that's brave. So I think Bottas might have a bit of an issue, or a little bit of front wing damage or something, because he's slipping back. Brave one up the inside. Oh, close as you like, but we've managed to make the move stick. So coming up the hill now to complete lap 5. Ricciardo's managed to get past Perez, and we've now got DRS on the Force India. No sign of this rain yet, as we're going to try something on the inside of Perez here. Oh, a little bit of contact, and that's unsettled the car. Bit naughty from Perez there. Being swamped by pink cars, and we've actually lost that to Ocon in that. It's disappointing. Force India do battles again into lap 7. And this time Ocon manages to get past Perez. Oh, it's late. Didn't mean to make the move, just sort of outbrake myself a little bit. Oh, Perez, come on, mate. I'll try it again on ya. Squeeze you wide this time, see how you like it. So we're into lap 8. Bottas has now found a bit of speed. The rain is now starting to fall, and I am expecting, so we're going to defend the inside here from Bottas. And I am expecting to probably be making a pit stop, possibly at the end of this lap actually. Yep, and as I expected, we're in at the end of this lap then. Oh, we've been given a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is disappointing. So we're coming out in 8th place. I think there's a handful of cars ahead that didn't actually stop, but we've got a 5-second stop-go penalty that we've got to serve next time we're in, which we will be in. We will be in again. And now it's a case of pushing on now with this setup I've got. I'll try to claw back that 5-second deficit, but I'm going to lose. So just coming over the line to start lap 15, almost at half distance. Running rich mix at the moment to try and break away from the guys behind. Bottas is staying with me, and we're about 3 point something seconds behind Ocon. But we've managed to drop the guys behind Bottas as well. So if we keep doing that, once we serve our penalty, it should be a net 7th place. So into lap 18, half distance already. It's gone in the blink of an eye. And not much has been going on, to be honest. We're sort of doing similar lap times to Ocon and Bottas. Heavy rain is now here, so now it's a waiting game to see if we have to make the change to the full wet tyre or if these intermediates are good enough. But tyre wear's still okay for now, so we'll keep pounding around to see what this race does. So into lap 23. And we're going to be pitting at the end of this lap for another set of intermediate, because I think we pitted at the end of lap 10 first time round. 13 laps, pit stop, 13 laps, race finish. So pretty much bang on a decent strategy there. Tyres are starting to go a little bit. We're at a rich mix now. Here comes Hamilton out of the pits. He's just made his stop. I won't try anything. Bit pointless. Oh, he's made a mistake though, so we are going to try it. Please see us. Oh, that was close. Oh wow, someone's taken. Oh my god, someone's taken at the pit lane limiter board. So I've steamed into the pit lane doing about 90 miles an hour. Oh, the penalties we're picking up in this race. So we're coming out in a safe 7th place, and I've got another 5-second penalty which will probably be added on at the end of the race because we're not going to stop again. So this looks like it, unfortunately. Pretty interesting start to the race, but since the rain's fallen, everyone's been pretty much spread out. Everyone's now made their second pit stop as well, so we're probably going to be locked into 7th place unless someone ahead has a problem. So coming over the hill into lap 30 of 36, nothing to report unless anything happens. Is pretty much going to be 7th place. We're about 3.5 seconds behind Bottas and the gap is stabilising, and we're about 10 to 11 seconds ahead of Perez, and that gap is stabilising as well. So it's pretty much locked onto the 7th place. It's been a shame because this race had the potential to be quite good, but I think once the rain started to fall it spread everyone out a little bit. But you know, if we end up with a 7th place, it's better than nothing. So through the final corner to start the final lap. It's been a pretty boring last 13 or 14 laps of this race. Still in 7th place, still maintaining gaps ahead and behind. So in a couple of minutes, just focus on bringing this car home and it'll be another top 10 result. So just coming up the hill now. It was an entertaining first part of the race, battling with a few of the guys like the Force Indias and Bottas, but ever since the first pit stop, it's been pretty drab. But it's another 7th place, 6 more points. So Vettel's won to keep his championship hopes alive ahead of Raikkonen and Hamilton in third. Good race from Ricciardo in fourth and Ocon in fifth. 15 seconds worth of penalties. I'm pretty sure we only had 10, but it doesn't matter. We stay in seventh anyway. Perez, Hulkenberg and Magnussen round out the top 10. Further down, Verstappen after his penalty couldn't get back inside the top 10, and Alonso's done well to get 12th. Sainz 13th was a lap down, as was Massa in his home race in 14th. Palmer, Grosjean, Verline in 17th, Van Dorn 18th and Lance Stroll in 19th. And yet again, Danny Kvyat retired early on. So yeah, Toro Rosso's reliability has been pretty poor. So we'll have a look at the standings then, see what's changed. Raikkonen and Vettel, one of them two is going to win the title at the final race, and so far Raikkonen is the odds on, 20 points ahead. Hamilton in third and Bottas in fourth. Ricciardo, thanks to his fourth place, now jumps us, pushes us down to seventh, but I'm pretty confident we can stay ahead of Verstappen at least. Further down, no other changes either, still 3 drivers yet to score. In the Constructors, congratulations to Ferrari. They have secured the Constructors' Championship. 95 points ahead of Mercedes now. Wow. Red Bull, Force India. There's an outside chance that Force India can jump Red Bull, but I doubt it. We're still in 5th place, 133 points now. And behind us, no change again. Everyone pretty evenly spread out. So the resource points for the race. It'll be down a little bit. Disciplinary record, unfortunately, but still another 99. Takes us to 639. And the first driver bonus as well. Decent for practice and qualifying, a little bit down in the race, another 52. And the rivalry, we have now completed that. It didn't take us that long, I think probably about 6 or 7 races, and we've absolutely smashed it, 30-11. And the reputation again creeping up with the 4 remaining teams, which is always very nice. The career score, decent for practice, qualifying was poor, good for the race as well. It wasn't a penalty-free weekend, so this won't be 10,000, 8,294, which is I think the lowest it's been for a while. We've got a classic car event, which is nice to do. I think we're now only 3 away from completing it. So we've got a pursuit at Japan Short or a checkpoint challenge at Singapore, and I think we'll do the pursuit for a change. But as ever, it will be off camera. So then, I'm tempted to do an upgrade, but what I'm going to do is save my resource points, and hopefully once Abu Dhabi is done, we'll be over, well I'll say maybe around about 1,200 resource points, and then with the bonus at the end of the season as well, it should enable us to do a bit of shopping on the powertrain. We'll obviously get the 4th unlock for the aerodynamic here to make it cheaper. I don't bother doing the 5th, certainly as it only costs 2,000. It's a bit pointless, so we'll get that done, and then probably do at least 2, maybe even 3 of the majors over here as well to give us a bit of a boost into season 4. So the race all done then. In fact, whilst we're clicking on this, I can do this one here, upgrade speed. We're 3 away, so once I've done this classic car event, we'll only need to do 2 more, and then we can halve the development time on the ultimate upgrade. So that will come in probably around mid-season in season 4. We've got 7 races to go before we unlock the 15% bonus of first driver bonus, so that will come in after the 6th race of season 4. So the ultimate upgrades and a bit more resource points will be available probably, I'd say, yeah, half season in season 4. So other than that, there's not much else to talk about. Yeah, qualifying was a bit of a struggle, but we managed to get into Q3, and the first part of the race before the rain fell was actually quite entertaining. I was quite enjoying myself having battles with the Force Indias and Bottas and a few others as well. Then once the rain fell, it just spread the field out. The penalties didn't help either, and the last stint the last I think 12-13 laps I did was pretty much non-existent. You could have gone to sleep and nothing would have changed, but it's another 7th place and 6 more points, so we're still having a very strong end to the season. So then, 19 out of 20 races done. Next episode will be the final race of season 3. It'd be nice to end it on a bit of a high. I do like Abu Dhabi, so I will be going all guns blazing. Christmas has been and gone, so hopefully all of you guys and girls have enjoyed spending time with friends and family and getting loads of presents, and I certainly had a good time as well, having a few days off from work. So yeah, just one more race to end what has been our best season yet. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you soon.